The tape you are listening to contains the complete lore of the ancient runes and keys to the use of that lore in practical magical work. The runes are a fairly new phenomenon in English-speaking magical circles. Often, one of the most confusing aspects of rune work has been the use of unfamiliar words in what seem to be exotic languages. This tape will clear the way to a full understanding of all the sounds of the languages used in the magical study of runes, so that the runester can pronounce the rune names and use the sacred runic chants or galders in a perfected fashion. What you will hear on this tape is virtually a sonic guide to the rune realms. With the knowledge you gain from this tape, you can travel in the rune realms with confidence. Much as a traveler might need to know something of the language of a country being visited, the runester needs to know the language of the rune realms. The lore in the first part of the tape can be used directly in practical work just as well as the more overtly magical material in the second part. The Futhark itself is a potent magical song, and the rune poems most certainly have their roots in the magical divinatory traditions of the ancient North. In learning the sonic lore of the runes, the lore of their very sounds, the runester is participating in the timeless form of the most ancient oral tradition of the runesters. This is so even if it is on tape. This tape contains the entire tradition of the historical Futharks, the complete texts of all of the rune poems in their original languages, along with translations, a selection of some of the most powerful ancient runic inscriptions themselves, and a complete set of magical songs or galders for each of the 24 runes of the Elder Futhark. Each of these aspects will be explained fully in the text of the booklet that accompanies the tape, so that the combination of the booklet and tape will make up a complete course in the sonic magic of the runes. The Futhark systems are 4 in number. In ancient times, there were only 3 systems. The Elder Futhark of 24 runes, which was in use from the beginnings of the tradition to about 800 of the Common Era. The Younger Futhark of 16 runes, which was in use from about 800 to 1200, and the Old English or Anglo-Frisian Futhark of 29 runes. This last system was in use from about 450 of the Common Era to around the year 1000. The Anglo-Frisian system was also expanded to an eventual length of 33 runestaves in the written runic tradition of the Middle Ages. Here I will read the names of all the runes in the various systems in their original languages only. You can consult the accompanying booklet for more information on the lore of the individual rune staves. Now the sayings of Har are said in the hall of Har, very useful to the sons of men, of no use to the sons of Etins. Hail he who speaks them, hail he who knows them, needful to those who took them, hail those who hear them. The Elder Futhark. Fecho, Uruz, Thurisaz, Ansuz, Raidhu, Kenaz, Gevu, Wunyo, Hagalaz, Nauziz, Isa, Yera, Ehwaz, Perthro, Elchaz, Soilo, Tiwaz, Berkano, Ehwaz, Manaz, Laguz, Ingwaz, Dagas Othila. The Old English Futhorc. Feoch, Ur, Sorn, Os, Rad, Chain, Gyvu, Win, Hail, Nid, Is, Year, Eoch, Peorth, Eox, Seal, Tyr, Beork, Mon, Lagu, Ing, Dai, Aethel, Ark, Ash, Ir, Ear, Eor, Queorth, Kalk, Stan, Gar. The younger Futhark. Fe, Ur, Thursh, As, Raith, Kaun, Hagal, Naus, Is, Ar, Sol, Tyr, Bjarkan, Mother, Löger, Ir. In modern times, the Austrian magician and occultist Guido von List developed a system of runology we call the Armanen system of 18 runes. The names of the Armanen runes sound like this. The Armanen Futhorc. Tha, Ur, Torn, Os, Rit, Ka, Hagal, Not, Is, Ar, Zik, Tyr, Bar, Laf, Man, Ir, Gibor. The poetic tradition. Beyond the basic lore of the rune names there lies a whole realm of complex, symbolic, mytho-magical tradition embedded in poetic forms. There is the tradition of the mythic and magical poetic stanzas which explain and outline the origins of rune lore, and then there is the whole tradition of the rune poems themselves. First, I will read the most important Old Norse poetic stanzas explaining the origin of the runes in the initiatory myth of the archetypal rune master Odin. Then will follow the 4 surviving rune poems themselves. Runatal Þáttur Odins, the yarn of Odin's rune tally in Old Norse. Veit ek at ek hek vindga mæði a nettarallar níu, gæri daður og geffen úðni, sjálfur sjálfum mer, að þeim mæði mangi veit, hvers hann af róttum renn. Við klæfi mig sældu nefið hortnigi, nist ek niður, nam ek upp rúnar, ek pandi nam, fell ek aftur þaðan. Fimbuljóð nýju, nam ek af innum fræje sinni, Balþórs bestlu föður. Og ek drykk of gatt ins dýrum jaður, ásinn óður reyri. Það nam ek fræfas, og fróður vera, og vaksa og velhafas, orð mer af orði, orð læt hann því, verk mer af verki, verks læt að því. Rúnar mund þú finna og ráðna stafi, mjög stóra stafi, mjög dinna staði. Faði fimbul þullur, og gorðu ginregin, og ræst hrottur rögna. Óðinn með ásum, en fyr alfum dagen. Dvalend vergum fyrir, asviður jotnum fyrir. Ek ræst sjálfur sumar. Veist du hve rista skal? Veist du hve raða skal? Veist du hve fá skal? Veist du hve freista skal? Veist du hve biðja skal? Veist du hve blóta skal? Veist du hve senda skal? Veist du hve soa skal? Betra óbeðið en sé of blótið. Æ, sér til gildis gjöf. Betra ósend en sé of sóitt. Sva thunder ræst fyr þjóða rokk. Þar hann upp ræs hann aftur of kom. The yarn of Odin's rune tally in English. I know that I hung on a windy tree all of nights 9, wounded by Gar and given to Odin, myself to myself, on that tree of which no one knows from what roots it rises. They dealt me no bread nor drinking horn. I looked down. I took up the runes. I took them wailing. Then I fell back again. 9 mighty songs I took from the famous son of Bolthorn, father of Bestla. And I got drink of the dearest mead pouring out of Othreirir. Then I began to grow and to be wise, and to wax and do well. To me came word from word, seeking the word. To me came work from work, seeking the work. Runes wilt thou find, and read the staves, very strong staves, very stalwart staves, which the mighty Thiel colored, and the magical gods made, and Hroft of the gods carved them. Odin among the Aesir, and for the elves Dáin, Dvalin for the dwarves, Asvith for the Ettins, I carved some for myself. Knowest thou how to write? Knowest thou how to read? Knowest thou how to color? Knowest thou how to carry out? Knowest thou how to bid? Knowest thou how to bless? Knowest thou how to send? Knowest thou how to put to sleep? Better unbidden than over-sacrificed, for a gift always looks for gain. Better unsent than be over-slaughtered. Thus thunder carved before the folk were fated. There he rose up when he came back. The Old English rune poem in Old English. Feoch bydd frover fyr je chwilkum, sha feoch mana je chwilk, miklun hit delan, je fwile fodrichtne domis chleotan. Oer bydd anmod, ond overhirnid, fela frekna deor, feochtið mit hornum, mere moorstappa, that is modi hoot. Thorn bydd thela scherp, thena je chwilkum, onfinges ivil unje mentun rede, mana je chwilkum the him mid restis. Os bydd ord fruma, erkere spraatje, wisdom is razu, ond wittene frover, ond eola je chwam, eetnis ond tochicht. Raad bison onrikkede, rinke je chwilkum, sevte on swithwet, samse cities on ufan, mere megen herdom over milpathas, chain bis quickere je chwam, koes on fire, blak on beortlik, birnis oftust, thar hi ædelingas innerestas, give gummene bis geleng on hernis, razu on worshipe, on rekene je chwam, on atwist, the bis other leas, when ne broekes, the kan wena licht, sares on sorge, on him silva hef, bled on blisse, on eak birge je nicht. Heil bis huchtus korne, whirt hit of heavenes lifte, welkas hit windes shura, werthis hit to water sissan. Need bis nere on breostan, werthis hi seach of nise bernum. To helpe an to hela, je chwethere, jif hi his glistas error. Is bis overchild, unjementum slidder, glisnad glaslutter, jimmum je likust, floor forste je warhocht, feir an sinne. Jer bis gummene hecht, son goot, letis, hali, hevenes kinning, rosan silan, beorchne blede, beortnum an thearfum. Eoch bis utan unsmede treo, herd rosan fest, hirde firis, wirtrumen, under ureithit, rinan on eisle. Pers bis simble, playa on chlechter, ulankum on midum, thar wigan sitas, on beerselle, blisse at somne. Erksej, erd heves, oftust on fenne, wexes on watere, wundas grimne. Blode breines, beorne je chwilkne, se him enie onfing je dees. Siel semanum simble bis on hichte, son hi hinne ferias over fishes space, os hi brim hengest, bringest to lande. Tyr bis takna sum, heldis triwa well, with ædelingas a bis on ferelde, over nichte, je nippu, nevre je swickes. Berg bis blede lees, beris evne swaseach, tanas butan tude, bis on telgum chlitti, heach on helme, ristis feire, je lodden, je leafum lifte je tenge. Eich bis for eerlum, ædelinge win, hors hovum ulank, sær him hele thas imb. Ulenge on widjum, rikslas spretje, an bis unstillum evre frover. Man bis on mirkse, his magan leof, sja seach andre je chwilk, odrum swickan, for tham drichten wille, dome sine, sat me flash san beteknan. Lagu bis leerdum langsum je sucht, je fi schullen neson on nakkan teltum, on hi seese swisse bregas, on se brim hengest bridles ne gummis. Ing was eris vid eest denum, je zeeuwen sedjun, os he sithan eest over where je hwaat, wen efter ran, sus herdingas son hele nemdum. Eisel bis over leof, ag hwiskum men, if he mot ser richtis, and je risine brukan on bolde bledum oftast. Dei bis drichtnis son, deora mannum, mere methodis leocht, mirkt and tochicht, edgum and ermum, ealum briche. Ak bith and earthan elde bernum, flashes fodder, ferith jelome, overganotis beth, garsej fandas, whether ac hebe, ethile trewa. Ash bith overheach, eldum dire, stith on staffele, stedde richte schilt, seach him feochtan on virus monnie. Eer bith ethelinge, and eerle je chwaas, win and werthmind, bith on widje fair, fastlik on ferelde, virge atwa sum. Iar bith eafixe, on seach abrukis, fodrus on foldan hafas ferne eer, watere beworpen, fair he winnum leofas. Eer bith egle, eerla je chwiskon, son fastliche, flash on jenis, ra koljan rosan cheosan, blakto je beddan, blede je dreasas, winne je chwichtas, were je swichkas. Translation of the Old English rune poem. Wealth is a comfort to every man, although every man ought to deal it out freely if he wants before the Lord his lot of judgment. Urus is fearless and greatly horned, a very fierce beast. It fights with its horns, a famous roamer of the moor. It is a courageous animal. Thorn is very sharp. For every thane who grasps it, it is harmful, and exceedingly cruel to every man who lies upon it. God is the chieftain of all speech, the mainstay of wisdom, and comfort to the wise, for every noble warrior, hope and happiness. Riding is in the hall to every warrior easy, but very hard for the one who sits up on a powerful horse over miles of road. Torch is to every living person known by its fire. It is clear and bright. It usually burns when the noble men rest inside the hall. Gift is for every man a pride and praise, help and worthiness, and of every homeless adventurer it is estate and substance for those who have nothing else. Joy is had by the one who knows few troubles, pains, or sorrows, and to him who himself has power and blessedness, and also the plenty of towns. Hail is the whitest of grains, it comes from high in heaven. A shower of wind hurls it, then it turns to water. Need is constricting on the chest, although to the children of men it often becomes a help and salvation, nevertheless, if they heed it in time. Ice is very cold and exceedingly slippery. It glistens clear as glass, very much like gems. A floor made of frost is fair to see. Harvest is the hope of men, when God lets, Holy King of heaven, the earth give her bright fruits to the nobles and the needy. Yew is on the outside a rough tree and hard, firm in the earth, keeper of the fire, supported by roots, it is a joy on the estate. Lot box is always play and laughter among bold men, where the warriors sit in the beer hall, happy together. Elk's sedge has its home most often in the fen. It waxes in the water, and grimly wounds and burns with blood any bairn who in any way tries to grasp it. Sun is by seamen always hoped for, when they fare away over the fish's bath, until the brine stallion they bring to land. Tyr is a token, it keeps troth well, with noble men always on its course, over the mists of night it never fails. Birch is without fruit, but just the same it bears shoots without seed. It has beautiful branches. High on its crown it is finely covered, loaded with leaves, touching the sky. Horse is, in front of the warriors, the joy of noble men, a charger proud on its hooves. When concerning it heroes, wealthy men on war horses exchange speech, and it is to the restless always a comfort. Man is in his mirth dear to his kinsman, although each shall depart from the other, for the Lord wants to commit by his decree that frail flesh to the earth. Water is to people seemingly unending. If they should venture out on an unsteady ship, and the sea waves frighten them very much, and the brine stallion does not mind his bridle. Ing was first among the East Danes seen by men, until he again eastward went over the wave. The Wain followed on. This is what the warriors called the hero. Day is the Lord's messenger, dear to men, the ruler's famous light. It is mirth and hope to rich and poor, and is useful to all. Estate is very dear to every man, if he can enjoy what is right and according to custom, in his dwelling most often in prosperity. Oak is on the earth for the children of men the nourishment of meat. It often fares over the gannet's bath. The sea finds out whether the oak keeps noble troth. Ash is very tall and very dear to men. Steady on its base, it holds its stead rightly, though it is fought against by many folks. Bow is for nobleman and warrior alike a joy and dignification. It is excellent on a horse, steadfast on an expedition. It is a piece of war gear. Serpent is a river fish, although it always takes food on land. It has a fair abode surrounded with water, where it lives in happiness. Grave is hateful to every warrior, when steadily the flesh begins, the corpse, to become cold, to choose the earth palely as a bedmate. Fruits fall, joys pass away, bonds of faith break. The Old Norwegian Rune Rhyme in Old Norwegian. Fe felde frende rogi, fædisk ulfur I skogi. Ur es av illu hjartni, oft klæpur hrætn a hjartni. Þurs velde kvenne kvillu, katter verður far af illu. Oss es flestre ferða för, en skalpur sverða. Ræð kveða hrossum versta, regin sló sverðið besta. Kán es bægje barna, bolgörir mann folvan. Hagar es kaldastar kortne, Krister skóp heim in fortna. Náð görjur kneppa kosti, nöktan keller I frosti. Ís köllum brú bræða, blindan þarf að læða. Ar es gumne góði, gettek að örvas frúði. Sól es landa ljómi, luttek helgum dómi. Týr es ein hender ase, oft verður smiður að blase. Bjarkans lauf grænster líma, loki bar flæðar tíma. Maður es moldur áki, mikil es græp á háki. Lögurs es fellur og fjali foss, en gúl eru nosser. Ír es vette grænster viðu, vans es brennir að sviða. The Old Norwegian Rune Rhyme in English. Gold causes strife among kinsmen. The wolf grows up in the woods. Slag is from bad iron. Oft runs the reindeer on hard snow. Thirst causes the sickness of women. Few are cheerful from misfortune. Estuary is the way of most journeys, but the sheath is that way for swords. Riding, it is said, is the worst for horses. Regan forged the best sword. Sore is the curse of children, grief makes a man pale. Hail is the coldest of grains. Christ shaped the world in ancient times. Need makes for a difficult situation. The naked freeze in the frost. Ice we call the broad bridge. The blind need to be led. Harvest is the profit of men. I say that Frothi was generous. Sun is the light of the lands. I bow to the holiness. Tyr is the one-handed among the Aesir. The smith has to blow often. Birch twig is the limb greenest with leaves. Loki brought the luck of deceit. Man is the increase of dust. Mighty is the talon span of the hawk. Water is that which falls from the mountain as a force, but gold objects are costly things. Yew is the greenest wood in the winter. There is usually, when it burns, singeing. The Old Icelandic Rune Poem in Old Icelandic. Fe frende rók og flæðar viti og grasæs gata. Úr skýja gratar og skara sverjur og hirðis hatar. Þurs kvenna kvolv og kletta búi og varð rúnar ver. As alding gátur og Asgars jofur og Valhallar vísi. Ræð sitjandi sæla og snúðig ferð og jors erfiði. Kán barnaboll og bardaga far og hold fúa hús. Hagall kalda korten og kroppa drífa og snakka sót. Náð þýjar þrá og þungur kostur og vasamlig verk. Ís arbörkur og unar þakk og fægra manna far. Ar gumne góði og gott sumar og algróin akkur. Sól skýja skjöldur og skínandi röður og ísa alder tregi. Týr ein hender as og úlfs lævar og hófa hilmir. Bjarkan láfgat lim og lítill tré og samliger viður. Maður manns gaman og moldar áki og skippa skrætir. Löger vällande vatten och vidertättigt och glommande grund. Bänder bogi och brottjart hjarten och fivo far bauti. The old Icelandic rune poem in English. Gold is the strife of kinsmen, and the fire of the flood tide, and the path of the serpent. Drizzle is the weeping of clouds, and the lessener of the rim of ice, and an object for the herdsman's hate. Thorsh is the torment of women, and the dweller in the rocks, and the husband of the giantess Varðruna. Ace is the olden father, and Asgard's chieftain, and the leader of Valhalla. Riding is a blessed sitting, and swift journey, and the toil of the horse. Sore is the bale of children, and a scourge, and the house of rotten flesh. Hail is a cold grain, and a shower of sleet, and the sickness of snakes. Need is the grief of the bondmaid, and a hard condition, and toilsome work. Ice is the rind of the river, and the roof of the waves, and a danger for fey men. Harvest is the profit of all men, and a good summer, and a ripened field. Sun is the shield of the clouds, and shining glory, and the lifelong sorrow of ice. Tyr is the one-handed god, and the leavings of the wolf, and the ruler of the temple. Birch twig is a leafy limb, and a little tree, and a youthful wood. Man is the joy of man, and the increase of dust, and the adornment of ships. Water is a churning lake, and a wide kettle, and the land of fish. Yew is a strung bow, and brittle iron, and a giant of the arrow. The Abecedarium Nordmannicum in Old High German. Foi forman after, turis tritten stabu, os istemo orbo, rat endos uritan, kaon tane, cliot, hagal naut habit, is endi sol, tiu birka endi man midi, lago te leocto alba habit. The Abecedarium Nordmannicum in English. Fee first, urus after, thorsh the third stave, the ace above him. Wheel is written last, then cleaves canker. Hail has need, ice, year, and sun, tew, birch, and man in the middle. Water the bright, yew holds all. From a magical perspective, one of the least discussed aspects of the runic tradition has been the use of formulas contained in the ancient magical inscriptions for practical magical ends. The old formulas were, of course, originally, for the most part, oral incantations objectified on the stone for intensified magical effect. Here I will read some of these old formulas as they have come down to us on rune stones from ages past. Each of these formulas gives the modern runester an example of traditional forms of runegaldur. The stone of Yersper. Ubar heite, rabanas heite, ek erilas runos ritu. Ubar I am called, Raven I am called, I the rune master carve the runes. The stone of Ström. Wate hali hinno horna, ha ha skapi ha thuligi. Let the horn wet the stone, scythe the hay, let the crop lay. The stone of Nullaby. Runo fahi ragina kundo to yekka unatho suhura susie huatin haukothu. A rune I color, one stemming from the divine advisors. I make for satisfaction in the grave. Suhura susie. May they make sharp the hawk-like one. The stone of Björkatorp. Usarba spa. Haida runo ronno falk. Hedra ginna runar. Ergu herma lauser. Utti wela daude. Sar fat britter. Prophecy of doom. The row of bright runes I hid here, magically loaded runes. Through shamefulness and restlessly, out there is a woeful death for whoever breaks this monument. The stone of Aegea. Nis solo sott och ni saxestern skorin. Ni lägi manner neksan isnith rinner, ni vilter manner lägi upp. Hin vart naseo, manner made them, keipa I bor moda huni. Fisker or firna, vim svimmande, vogel I fjande, liv gelande. Alu misirki. The stone is not touched by the sun, and is not cut by an iron knife. No man may lay it bare, when the waning moon runs over the heavens. Misguided men may not lay the stone aside. The man here sprinkled this stone with the sea of the corpse. With it he rubbed the thole of the well-drilled boat. As who has the Lord God come to the land of warriors? A fish swimming out the terrible stream, a bird screaming into the enemy band. Powerful magic against any wrongdoer. Next, you will hear some of the most important magical galders, or galdrar, in the runic tradition. I will begin with those found in the historical record of formulas carved in the Elder Age. Among the most powerful galders is the entire row of the 24 rune names of the Elder Futhark. Vehu urus thurisas ansus raedo kenas gevunyo hagalas naudis isa yerai was perthro el chasuilo He was Berkano, was Manas, Lagozing, was Dagazothila. Hear now the Alu formula. Hear now the Laukas formula. Hear now the Auya and Gibu Auya formulas. Hear now the Lua Tuwa formula. Lua Tuwa. Hear now the manifold Foslao formula. Foslao. Fehu osila soilo ansus lagos ansus urus fos Fehu osila sohilo These are the hidden Galders of the elder Futhark, sounded like this. Fehu, fehu, fehu. Fu, fa, fi, fe, fo. O, fe, fi, fa, oof. Uruz, uruz, uruz. Thurisaz, thurisaz, thurisaz. Sur, thar, thir, fair, thor. Ansuz, ansuz, ansuz. Raizu, raizu, raizu. Ru, ra, ri, re, ru. Rose, raz, riz, rez, rose. Or, ir, ar, ur. Canas, canas, canas. Kuka, ki, ke, ko. Kun, kan, kin, ken, kon. Ok, ek, ik, ak, ok. Gebo, gebo, gebo. Guga, gige, go. Goob, gob, gib, gabe, gob. Og, eg, ig, ag, og. Gebo. Unyo, unyo, unyo. Wua, wee, we, wo. Wun, wan, ween, wane, won. Wo, we, wee, wa, woo. Won. Hagalaz, hagalaz, hagalaz. Hu, ha, hi, he, ho. Hug, hag, hig, heg, hog. Hagalaz. Now these, now these, now these. Nu, na, ni, ne, no. Nus, nas, nis, nes, nos. Un, an, in, en, on. Isa, isa. Yera, yera, yera. Equals, equals, equals. Pedro, Pedro, Pedro. Hupa, pi, pe, po. Po, pe, pi, pe, pu. El-Khaz, El-Khaz, El-Khaz. Soilo, soilo, soilo. Su, sa, si, se, so. Soilo, so, se, si, sa, so. Soilo. T was, T was, T was. Tu, ta, ti, te, to. Ti, wa. To, te, ti, ta, tu. Vercano, Vercano, Vercano. Buba. ing wa zing wa zing wa Dagas, dagas, dagas. Do da di de do de di da do dagas. Uzila, uzila, uzila. To close the songs of the runes, I shall now speak the final stanza of the Havamal, the sayings of the High One. Nu Havamal kveðin hafa höllu í, alþorf ítta sonum, óþorf jotna sonum. Hæll sa hvað, hæll sa kann, njótti sa nam, hælir þær klídu.